My boss said, "We're a team," then took the credit. I still remember the way he said it. Calm, confident, almost fatherly. It was my first major project at the company, the one that could finally prove I wasn't just another intern turned junior analyst. I had spent weeks developing an internal system that would automate the tedious reports our department hated doing. I stayed late every night, sometimes until security kicked me out. My laptop fan had become the soundtrack of my evening, and the vending machine, my dinner table. When it was finally done, I shared it with Mike, my boss. He smiled, skimmed the document, and said, "Looks solid, Jake. Let me clean it up before sending it to upper management." I trusted him. After all, he always said we were a family. The following Monday, I walked into the conference room, expecting to watch him present our project. Instead, I watched him take a victory lap with my work. "After analyzing our inefficiencies, I came up with a new automation framework," he said proudly. My stomach dropped. My slides, my code, my design, all there. The VP clapped. "Brilliant work, Mike." He smiled and said, "Of course, couldn't have done it without my team." But when she asked who helped, he said, "Just small inputs here and there." My name never left his mouth. After the meeting, my coworkers whispered things like, "That's messed up," or "Hang in there, man." But no one dared confront him. Mike had been at the company for 10 years. I was just the new guy. When I confronted him later, he said, "Jake, this is how it works. You'll get your turn someday." That someday felt like an insult. But instead of arguing, I decided to learn how to play the same game, just better. A month later, the company decided to roll out the project nationwide. Mike was made the lead. He strutted around like he owned the place, bragging about his innovation. He told me to support him again. I said sure, and started planning my payback, quietly, methodically. During the rollout prep, I noticed he was copying files without understanding half the scripts. I inserted subtle dependencies that required my input to function. Nothing illegal, just logical gaps only the creator would catch. He ignored my offers to review. "Relax," he said. "I've got this." Launch day came. The big screens were up, executives lined the back wall, and Mike was front and center. The demo began perfectly, until it did. The system froze midway, throwing error codes that even I hadn't seen before. Panic spread. Mike stammered excuses, blaming the servers, blaming IT, blaming unexpected data formats. The VP folded her arm. "Mike, did you test this thoroughly?" His silence said it all. That's when I stepped up. "Ma'am," I said, "I noticed some version mismatches earlier. I have the verified build on my drive." She motioned for me to continue. I connected my laptop, launched the corrected version, and the demo ran flawlessly. Applause broke out. The VP turned to me and asked, "Did you develop this?" I nodded. "Yes, from start to finish." The silence that followed was better than any applause. Mike's face went pale. He tried to chime in, saying, "Well, I supervised," but the VP cut him off. "We'll handle this privately." Later that day, I was called into HR, not for trouble, but for congratulations. The VP had personally recommended me for promotion. Mike was quietly transferred to another department, away from leadership. A week later, I bumped into him at the coffee machine. His tone was cold. "You really set me up, didn't you?" I smiled. "No, Mike, I just let the truth run its own demo." He didn't respond, just stared at the floor. I poured my coffee, turned, and said, "We're still a team though, right?" The best revenge isn't shouting. It's letting time and competence expose the liar. Because when you're good at what you do, karma doesn't need an invitation. It just shows up right on schedule.